Introducing Chorus Call V Expo, a virtual exhibition that's live, not recorded, with operator assistance all through the event and customized exactly for you. V Expo is everything that an exhibition in the physical world offers, but virtual. It is all real-time, live, and curated only for you. No one else does what we do. Virtual does not have to be boring. Write to us at salesindia@choruscall.com to organize your virtual exhibition today.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of our chat series, Meetings That Matter. This is where we have a conversation with an industry leader and business expert so that we can learn from their experience and try and know them a little bit better. I'm your host, Jerry Bindra, Managing Director, Chorus Call India. So without further delay, it gives me great pleasure to invite our guest today. He's someone who's truly a marketing guru in the automobile sector. He has over 20 plus years of experience working with some of the largest automobile companies, the likes of Suzuki, Renault, Tata Motors. So I'd like to welcome Mr. Virat Kullar, Group Marketing Head, Hyundai India. Welcome, Virat, and thank you for being on our show.
Thank you, Jerry. My pleasure. Thanks a lot. Look forward to the conversation.
Yeah, I'm going to jump straight into the conversation, Virat. There's a lot of questions that I have, and these are very exciting times, I'm sure. And there's one question that is on top of my mind. I know the automobile industry has always been known for this larger than life product launches. I mean, you guys do it all, right? 5-star parties, events. You've got a dealer network where you have consumer experience. How did you manage during these restrictions in the last 18 months, in particular from a marketing perspective?
Yeah, Jerry. So you're right. We have a large range of cars across companies in the auto sector. And yes, the launch of a car is a kind of an epitome moment for the organization. And as marketers, we have to make it as large as possible because it is the holy grail week for the effectiveness of the product and the acceptance of the brand into the market. Pre-COVID times, the format was a bit on ground. There were large scale events based on the positioning of the product, along with media and also along with the consumers, then cascaded down to cities where dealerships used to do their kind of activations and launches through customer meets, etc. But about 100% of them was online, with just a webcast layered on top of them for people to see across social networks. But now in the last 18 months, the action has not stopped. The launches have happened. Organizations like ours have done one of the largest number of launches in the last 18 months. Most of our portfolio is now brand new. And yes, that has happened in the virtual world. So as early as July 2020, which was about 4 months into lockdown, we did one of our largest virtual launch events. One of the first in the country, where we announced 3 cars into the market, and there was no looking back after that. All the launches after that, till the one we had about 2 months back, have been curated on the virtual platform. Obviously, there have been a lot of learnings on being fully virtual to being hybrid, to getting in presenters, to getting in media. So a lot of things have evolved. The tech has evolved, but yes, the grandness has to be maintained overall. The dealers are slowly opening up, and in their cities also they're trying to do their own set of hybrid events now. But yes, life continues, launches continue, and yes, some of them have been very effective, and the response to the products have been good. So far, whatever we've been doing seems to be working.
This fantastic. You said the action did not stop, and I think that's the key. So from the experience that you had, or that you're seeing in your industry, do you think there is now some kind of a fundamental shift that maybe taking shape? It's been 18 months is a long time. Do you think that some kind of a fundamental shift maybe also taking shape in the industry in the way the whole industry sort of looks at this particular function of marketing communication or product launch or dealer management? Do you see that happening as well?
So Jerry, that's a resounding yes to your question. And why is that? Is because compulsion made us revisit a lot of the practices. It was not a matter of choice. So when consumers went online, I mean, the brands had to go online. Organizations had to go online, and it's not just I would say marketing or communicating to the customer. It's also e-commerce. It's also virtual consultation of dealer staff. It's actually the 360 degree of car buying that kind of went online. I'm still not saying that e-commerce for cars was big, but at least all the 20 odd touch points in the journey of buying a car suddenly pivoted online. Now that in the times of complete lockdown, I mean, we were completely serving the customer through virtual calls, sending our relevant CRM communication to him or her, and trying to get home test drives done through sanitization, sanitized cars, etc. But I would not say that when the markets open up, we will remain there. I would not say that. I think what this 18 months has taught us is that there is a way to do business which was completely missing earlier. Now, going forward, when we kind of cautiously open up the market, we will see which medium is better for what action. Is for a launch for a certain product, should we do it on ground or can we do the virtual model? If we are doing, if you want to do mass consumer activation, should we do a webcast event or should we do a customer meet in the dealership? So suddenly this new pillar of interaction with consumers has opened up, which is not a force fit, which the consumers are also comfortable with. So I would not say that there is going to be a fundamental move from A to B. I think we've discovered B, so A and B will kind of move together, which is a big move for the communication world as it is.
On what you think may happen in the industry going forward, but let's say if you had to pick, let's say 2 or 3 key points. Again, it's difficult knowing that there are new variants coming up all the time with the virus. It's difficult to say when things are going to open up or what the new normal is going to be. But if you had to pick, let's say 2 or 3 points for your industry, just the way you think things are going to change, what would that be?
No, I think we are in a period of cautious optimism. I would not say that. I think the past was bad. We have had learnings, but from an industry point of view, as I said, we are discovering new means of communication. We are discovering new means of commerce. We are also discovering that in these times, consumers are moving to higher versions of cars, better features of cars. There is a kind of I would say desire for the consumers to want more in the products, to want more from the life they have. So we've seen that over the past 2 years, more sales of higher versions, more sales of higher equipped cars, more sales of connected cars, for example. So these are the 2 big shifts, as I said. I mean, the consumer is moving online, so we have to pivot on communication and commerce, and our products are also moving up. So mobility now demands a little bit more than what we've been offering. Just sheer transportation from A to B is maybe not what the consumer of today wants. I mean, things can again change either ways in the next 2 years, but we have to be careful that now the consumer wants more from his or her purchase. So we all are there to deliver that.
That's really very, very interesting. And I think when I hear what you say, just that whole experience of e-commerce, just that thought of somebody going online and actually having that entire end-to-end experience of deciding what to buy as a car and then completing the transaction online, and for you as a marketer to use all the digital mediums of communication to educate your dealers and reaching out to consumers. I mean, clearly, I think these are very, very interesting times. Personally, for me, being from a communication background and industry, I think I see this very, very interesting play that's happening in the industry. So
these are, I mean, active times. These are very agile times for us communicators. These are very empathetic times for communicators. We have to be very careful on not just selling. We have to own the consumer in all kinds of times. So yes, interesting for sure.
Thank you, Virat, for all your inputs. I really enjoyed this conversation, but I have one other piece that's left. We couldn't have let you go without having some fun.
Okay.
So I'm going to go into the next section of our interaction. We call it the rapid fire, of course, for the want of a better term. So I'm going to throw out a few questions at you, Virat. This is just whatever comes out first on top of your mind, please. So here we go. There were only 3 meetings in a year that you could attend. Which would these be?
So consumer meetings, any consumer research meetings, I would love to be. I mean, that'll be my first, no doubt. Dealer interactions would be my second. And third, obviously, I mean, agency interactions for any communication. This would be my sequence. Consumer first, dealer, retailer second, and comms third.
And you mentioned earlier, Virat, that this year you've had a lot of video conference calls. I'd like to ask you if there was any embarrassing moment that you had on any of these calls.
No, I mean, frankly, there are a lot of embarrassing moments on video calls because you get your screen freezes at the most unopportune moment, and in that weird face, you continue giving your strategic speech. So there have been a lot of them, and obviously, as you know very well, these video conferences audio buffers, and then it increases the speed. So it's as if you're trying to catch a train in the middle and then you're slowing down. So there is a lot of funny moments on video, which happen pretty regularly. I mean, it's not something that have happened once in a while, but yeah, we all have a laugh once in a while. It's fine. And yes, even after 18 months of audio calls, we still have to tell people to switch on the audio while speaking. So such is life. Yeah.
Very interesting indeed, and that's why a lot of our customers, I was mentioning earlier to you, we're into managed services. So those are exactly some of those little things that we do to help meetings go seamlessly. So
yeah.
What if there is a song that describes you best, Virat? Is there anything that comes to your mind?
I don't think so. There is a song because I'm mostly into techno or electronic, which does not have much of lyrics or whatever. But no, nothing tops my mind right now. I don't think so. I mean, I listen to a lot of music, but I don't think so. There is one song yet. Frankly,
is there something that you're listening to recently that you can hum for us, or?
No, I'm telling you, I listen to pretty boring music. I mean, I listen to Kaiga or David Guetta or whatever. So, I mean, it's a lot of just beats just go in. And that, unfortunately or fortunately, it de-stresses me a lot. So, I mean, I've been going with it for a long time now. So, I'm not much of a lyrics person, unfortunately. And thank you. Because of that, I'm not able to sing for the meeting. So, it's good for me. It could have been a disaster.
No. And I think these are times when you have to find ways of detoxing, and
very much.
Very, very important. It's a very relevant point that you made. Well, Virat, that's all the time that we have today. It was really a pleasure interacting with you. Thank you for sharing all your thoughts. And I had a lot of fun. I'm sure our listeners also would have fun viewing this. So thank you once again. Thank you.
No problem, Jerry. It was a pleasure. A good chat. And obviously, both remained happy through it. So that was important. So it was good fun. Thanks a lot for the opportunity. Yes, stay safe, stay healthy.
Thank you, Virat. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Switch to Chorus Call for meetings that truly matter.